It begins with a whisper, a hint of unease, a moment in front of the mirror where something feels off. You've done everything right, showered, cleaned, spritzed your favorite scent, and yet there's a lingering discomfort, a faint odor, subtle but stubborn, that doesn't belong. For millions of women over 60, this quiet signal from the body is more than just a nuisance. It becomes a source of shame, confusion, and even social withdrawal. But here's the shocking truth. What if the very habits you've trusted your whole life to keep you fresh are the ones silently betraying you? This isn't a topic most are comfortable discussing. We talk about wrinkles, bone density, even memory lapses. But personal scent, it's taboo. And that silence has consequences. Too many women internalize these changes as a personal failure, as if getting older automatically means becoming less clean, less pleasant, less presentable. That couldn't be further from the truth. The reality is scent changes with age are rarely due to lack of hygiene. Instead, they are driven by natural biological shifts, hormonal decline, skin changes, and slower cellular turnover. And yet we continue to use the same routines we trusted in our 30s, 40s, and 50s, unaware that those once effective habits are now clashing with our evolving bodies. Doctors are sounding the alarm. Certain bathroom habits, while well-intentioned, may actually be causing more harm than good, stripping away beneficial bacteria, creating environments where odors thrive, and ignoring hidden sources of contamination that subtly undo all your efforts to stay clean. This isn't just about scent, it's about dignity. It's about feeling at ease in your own skin, not afraid to hug your grandchildren, speak closely to a friend, or step confidently into the world. It's about reclaiming the body as a place of pride, not anxiety. In this article, we'll uncover 8 overlooked bathroom habits that are quietly impacting how older women smell and feel about themselves. With each, we'll explore the biological reason behind the issue, share science-backed solutions, and hear real-life stories from women who found freedom by making small but powerful changes. Because aging should never be a reason to shrink from life. It should be a reason to rise wiser, stronger, and more connected to yourself than ever before. Let's begin. 1. The myth of over-cleansing. Why too much can do more harm than good. From childhood, many women are taught that cleanliness equals control, so it's no surprise that in later years, the instinct to stay fresh becomes a form of overcompensation, particularly in intimate areas. But modern gynecology tells a very different story. The vaginal area is a self-regulating environment with its own natural balance of beneficial bacteria and a specific acidic pH range. This equilibrium helps prevent infections, irritation, and yes, unpleasant odors. However, frequent use of scented soaps, antiseptic washes, or douches disrupts this ecosystem, eliminating good bacteria and drying out sensitive tissues. A 2020 study published in the Journal of Women's Health found that 43% of women over 60 who reported chronic vaginal odor had been using fragranced hygiene products regularly. Upon discontinuation, nearly 70% saw a reduction in odor and irritation within 3 weeks. Ruth, a 67-year-old retired librarian, spent years trying to stay clean, using heavily perfumed body washes and daily feminine wipes. Instead of solving the issue, her symptoms worsened until her gynecologist recommended a complete stop. Within a month of switching to warm water and occasional use of a pH-balanced fragrance-free cleanser on the external vulva, she reported not only reduced odor, but improved comfort and moisture. Solution: Wash the intimate area externally only using warm water and, if needed, a non-scented cleanser made specifically for vulvar skin. Never apply products internally. Let your body's own rhythms do the rest. 2. Towels, the hidden source of skin, odor and irritation. Towels are one of the most underestimated culprits when it comes to lingering body odor. After drying, they absorb not just water, but microscopic skin oils, bacteria, and residue from personal care products. When reused without adequate drying or regular washing, they become a damp breeding ground for bacteria and mildew. The issue becomes more pronounced with age. Older adults often experience reduced oil production, thinner skin, and slower cell turnover, making them more vulnerable to external contaminants. When bacteria-laden towels are used repeatedly, they reintroduce these microbes onto clean skin, contributing to body odor that defies even the most rigorous hygiene. According to the CDC, bacteria such as Staphylococcus aureus and E. coli have been detected on towels reused for more than 3 days, especially in humid environments like bathrooms without proper ventilation. Helen, a 72-year-old former nurse, had always reused her bath towel for a week, believing it was a harmless water-saving habit. But when she developed unexplained skin irritation on her arms and chest, a dermatologist traced it back to microbial buildup in her towel fibers. A simple routine change, washing towels after every 2-3 uses and hanging them spread out on a rack, cleared her skin and left her feeling noticeably fresher. Solution: use 3 towels in rotation and wash each after no more than 3 uses. Always air dry fully between uses, preferably in a ventilated space. Avoid leaving towels crumpled on hooks. 3. Foot hygiene, the forgotten frontier of freshness. Feet rarely get the attention they deserve. Hidden inside socks or slippers, they're often rinsed passively in the shower, if acknowledged at all. But for older adults, the foot area becomes one of the most common sources of unpleasant odor. There are over 250,000 sweat glands in the human foot. Combine this with decreased skin shedding and mobility in later years, and you have a perfect storm for fungal growth, callus buildup, and lingering smells. The American Podiatric Medical Association estimates that up to 40% of seniors suffer from undiagnosed foot odor due to improper hygiene, despite otherwise rigorous cleaning routines. Dorothy, 69, first noticed a pungent smell coming from her shoes despite wearing clean socks daily. The culprit: her feet weren't being cleaned thoroughly. Once she began washing her feet daily with a soft cloth, focusing between toes and drying completely before putting on socks, the odor vanished. A weekly pumice treatment and occasional antifungal powder completed the transformation. Solution: give feet 1 full minute of attention in every shower. Wash all surfaces with gentle soap rinse and dry meticulously, especially between toes. Once weekly, exfoliate the soles and heels. During warm months or when using closed-toe shoes, consider applying a light antifungal powder. 4. The toilet plume. Invisible particles, visible consequences. Flushing with the toilet lid up may seem like a minor habit, but scientific research shows it has measurable consequences. When the toilet is flushed, a cloud of aerosolized particles, known as a toilet plume, is ejected into the air. These particles can carry bacteria, viruses, and even traces of waste residue. A 2021 study from the University of Colorado found that these plumes can reach up to 6 feet in height and remain airborne for over a minute. In bathrooms where toothbrushes face cloths and towels are stored openly, this can lead to cross-contamination and persistent unpleasant smells. Marge, a 74-year-old grandmother, was fastidious about cleanliness, changing her towels, cleaning her sink, scrubbing the toilet. But she couldn't figure out why her bathroom had a faint odor that seemed impossible to remove. After reading about the toilet plume effect, she began closing the lid before flushing. Within a week, she noticed a difference not just in scent, but in the overall freshness of the space. Solution: always close the toilet lid before flushing. Store toothbrushes and towels in enclosed cabinets or drawers. Improve airflow with a small exhaust fan or open window when possible. 5. Sleeping in daytime underwear. A hidden cause of overnight odor. It's a habit that feels harmless, slipping into bed in the same pair of underwear you wore all day. After all, you've likely spent the evening relaxing, perhaps reading or watching television. No major exertion, no sweating. But what many senior women don't realize is that even on the calmest days, the body continues to perspire, release oils, and shed skin cells. And when this daily residue remains trapped in a non-breathable fabric overnight, it creates the ideal conditions for bacterial growth. Cotton allows the skin to breathe, but many modern undergarments, especially those containing synthetic fibers like nylon or spandex, trap heat and moisture. The result is an environment that fosters odor, irritation, and in some cases, infections like yeast overgrowth or bacterial vaginosis. A 2019 study from the National Institutes of Health found that older women who wore synthetic underwear to bed were significantly more likely to report vaginal discomfort and persistent odor compared to those who changed into cotton before sleep. Evelyn, 71, had never questioned her bedtime routine, but after months of waking up feeling less than fresh, she decided to make a small shift. She began changing into clean, breathable cotton underwear each night. Within a week, she noticed a difference. Within a month, the subtle morning odor had disappeared entirely. She later transitioned to sleeping without underwear altogether and said she felt freer, cooler, and more comfortable than she had in years. Solution: always change into clean cotton underwear before bed, or skip it entirely if you're comfortable. Let your skin breathe at night to reduce overnight moisture and maintain balance in sensitive areas. 6. The bathroom trash bin, a small container with big odor impact. Few household items are as underestimated as the bathroom trash bin. Small, tucked away, and often closed with a lid, it rarely draws attention. But behind that plastic exterior lies a potential source of persistent low-grade odor, especially when it's used to discard tissues, hygiene products, cotton pads, and other moisture-trapping waste. Even when these items appear dry, they often retain microscopic amounts of organic material. Over time, in the humid conditions of a bathroom, this mix of materials begins to break down, producing invisible bacterial and fungal colonies. The odor they release may be subtle, but it permeates the space, lingering on fabric, rugs, and even the air itself. Joanne, 66, spent years wondering why her bathroom, despite daily surface cleaning, never felt truly fresh. It wasn't until she emptied and disinfected her bathroom bin regularly that the difference became clear. It was like opening a window, she said. The smell I had grown used to vanished. Solution: empty the bathroom trash bin every 2 to 3 days, regardless of how full it is. Wipe the inside with a vinegar-based cleaner or a gentle disinfectant once a week. Place a small cotton ball with a few drops of tea tree oil or lavender essential oil at the bottom to neutralize future odors. 7. The unwashed bathrobe comfort that compromises cleanliness. There's nothing more comforting than wrapping yourself in a warm, familiar bathrobe after a shower. It's soft, cozy, and seemingly clean, especially since it's only worn on clean skin. But therein lies the illusion. After bathing, the skin releases steam, moisture, and oils. These transfer directly onto the robe. If the robe isn't washed frequently or allowed to dry properly, it becomes a haven for odor-causing bacteria and mildew. And because bathrobes are rarely laundered as often as towels, they quietly accumulate biological debris that clings to the fabric and eventually to your skin. Linda, 70, always reached for her trusty robe post-shower. But despite her hygiene efforts, she began noticing that her body didn't smell quite as fresh even immediately after bathing. The culprit she discovered was the robe. She had been washing it only once a month. After switching to a weekly rotation and hanging her robe in a well-ventilated area to dry, she regained that freshly showered scent she had been missing. Solution: wash your bathrobe weekly, no exceptions. Have at least 2 robes so one can dry fully while the other is in use. Hang robes on wide-open racks in airy spaces to prevent mildew buildup. 8. Not rinsing properly after shaving. Underarms. Shaving underarms is often associated with freshness. And while removing hair can reduce surface bacteria, the process also exfoliates the skin, dislodging dead cells, deodorant residue, and microbes. If you don't follow shaving with a proper rinse, that debris remains on the skin and is quickly reabsorbed into freshly opened pores. This is especially relevant for older women whose skin becomes more permeable with age. Without a post-shave rinse, the underarm becomes a magnet for bacterial growth, leading to odor that seems to intensify no matter what deodorant you use. Barbara, 68, was meticulous about shaving and always used high-end deodorant. Yet she still struggled with underarm odor that worsened after each shave. Her dermatologist explained the issue: she was skipping the rinse. Once she added a simple rinse and a gentle wipe with a clean cloth, after every shave, the problem resolved in less than 2 weeks. Solution: after shaving, rinse the underarm area with warm water and lightly clean it with a soft cloth. Avoid applying deodorant. Immediately allow the skin to breathe for a few minutes before sealing it with any product. Conclusion: the journey of aging is one of evolution, not decline. Yet for too long, women have been taught to see scent changes in later life as a sign of decay, embarrassment, or failure. In truth, these changes are rarely signs of poor hygiene. They're signals. They're your body's quiet way of asking for a shift in how it's cared for. From overwashing the intimate area to unknowingly harboring bacteria in towels, robes, and trash bins, each of the habits we've explored reveals the same core lesson: what served us at 30 may no longer serve us at 60. And that's not a reason for shame. It's a call for deeper understanding, smarter choices, and kinder habits. Judith, a 73-year-old woman I've worked with, once told me that the moment she stopped blaming herself and started listening to her body, everything changed. She made 3 small adjustments: washing towels more often, switching to breathable underwear, and cleaning her trash bin weekly. What she gained wasn't just a fresher body, it was a lighter spirit. This article is not about being perfect. It's about being present, being attentive, and most importantly, being compassionate with the body you've walked through decades with. Small changes, just a few minutes of mindfulness a day, can radically transform how you feel, how you smell, and how confidently you step into the world. So the next time you catch a faint scent and feel that flicker of worry, pause, don't panic. Ask yourself, what is my body telling me? Then answer with care. Because the greatest luxury in aging isn't wealth or beauty or praise, it's peace. Peace in your skin, peace in your breath, peace in knowing you've tended to yourself with respect. And that is a scent no one can forget. If this article helped you feel more informed, empowered, or simply less alone, we invite you to like and subscribe to the Longevity Secret channel. We share weekly research-backed guidance made especially for women over 60 who want to live longer, stronger, and more confidently without shame, confusion, or fear. Join our growing community. Your journey deserves to be supported.